Hey, good morning.
How are you?
It's still early, so my old bones ain't got straightened out from being asleep yet, but they will.
Are
How
they
are you?
are they cold? Your old
Mm.
bones?
Yeah, I'm under electric blanket 'cause it's cold.
Yeah, you lazy. Me and old Henry done had breakfast.
What?
Well, I ain't walked yet. I was waiting on daylight and courage to build up. Takes a little courage to walk.
Well, is it slick out, you reckon?
No, they ain't no snow. And they're gonna give us some in the morning now. They keep all these promises, just like
I think,
politicians.
are you still there?
I think so. I
Uh,
feel like
I
I
think
am.
it's more of a threat than it is a promise.
Huh?
I think it's more of a threat than it is a promise. They can keep
Oh,
their old snow.
yeah, they just try to scare us off. We ain't going nowhere. I'd like to go squirrel hunting, but it's too cold. They freeze before they hit the ground. Be hard to skin them. You
It
know,
is.
I had
It's
a,
going to stay
I,
cold too all week.
I bought me a little old 22 squirrel hunt whip. I can't hit nothing with it. I don't know which
Oh,
one of us don't shoot straight, but one of us is awful little. I keep a tuning around there. You know, I had a, I never seen a gun like it before, but I had a shotgun, a little 410 gauge shotgun. It also shoots 45 cold ammunition, and it had a rotating cylinder in it. It was a revolver. Made it legal in a few states because it was a repeating shotgun that also could be considered a rifle, but it burned up when the house burnt down. I really liked that gun.
mm,
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
they I don't remember who made it, but they named it the Circuit Judge. What a name for a shotgun. And I guess it's
Hmm.
'cause it's a
Did
catchy
you buy it
name.
new?
No, I've swapped around. I swapped a pistol for it. But, you know, that same company's coming out with another gun. It's mostly a collector's gun because it's just for display and whatnot. They call it a congressman.
Hmm.
It won't, it don't work and you can't fire it.
Well, that's a good name for it, ain't
Yeah, they
it?
call it the congressman. I may have kind of
That's a
added
lot of
to that
humor.
tale a little bit. That may not be exactly 100% correct.
You just made that up. You
What's for
storyteller, you.
what's for dinner today? Got anything good lined up? I need some new recipes.
No, I put that chili I made yesterday in the refrigerator. I guess it'll be around after a while.
I made
You
me
know
a
what?
I made me, as some people would say, a fritter, but as I'd say, maybe you too, a flitter. Made me a flitter this morning and had some of that sugar-free syrup poured over it. That way I won't get all buzzed up before I go out and walk in. It's pretty good. Had 3 cups
Did
of
you
coffee.
make your fritter out of cornmeal or flour?
No, I just put some Marcy White. Uh, wait a minute, Marcy White. That's what White Lily. Put some White Lily except rising flour. And it don't have
Yeah.
hot rice plus like Marcy White. Anyway, just mixed that with a little bit of that rotten milk I've made. Not exactly buttermilk. And some water and stirred it up and poured it in a buttered skillet and flipped it over and time or two and poured it in a plate and squirted some of that stuff on it and chomped down.
Well, you'll be ready to giddy up go, Daddy. Giddy up go.
I'm gonna get that pork roast out after a while, cut me off a corner and warm it up. And there's a woman up there in Kentucky get me some Kentucky um hmm, oh hey, What do you call them beans? Kentucky Wonders. Them
Yeah.
Kentucky Wonder canned beans she canned. I'm gonna put them out and spice them up and warm them up and eat them up. They go good. That roast, I hope.
Oh, they will on a cold day.
I have to make
Let
some
me know
cornbread
how
to go with the beans.
wonderful you did with them.
Do what?
Let me know how wonderful you did with them.
The beans? You're the one who cooked them.
I mean, the whole meal you're talking about.
Oh, oh, oh. Well, I ain't got them fixed yet. I'm gonna eat them. You wait and see.
They're the big old brown beans, ain't they?
Yeah, them good. I bought some seeds. I'm gonna have me some 3 or 4 hills of them beans this summer. I might get maybe a mess a week out of them or something. Mess for one. I'm one.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I was one, but I mean I'm one person now.
I heard the other day somebody telling some psychologist I listen to, I don't know who he is now, but said that it's very rare for anybody to remember anything before 3 years old.
I'd say that's right, 'cause I just have one memory that I know happened before I was 3. Now, I went to my first funeral in 50, I guess it's 53. I was almost 4 years old. And I don't remember anything that I know for sure. I don't know how old I was that time I was up there. Uh, Pop and Nana was out hoeing the cornfield up there, and I was, uh, my mother put a quilt out or a sheet or something for me to lay on there in the shade of a mulberry tree, and I picked out on them mulberries and found her. I remember that. But I was probably older than 3, I don't know. But I remember when I was a little feller, I'd go out in the garden and pick them little green peas before they got ripe and eat
Yes.
'em. Pop thought that was going to get me too, but I fooled him. Now everybody eats 'em. But when I was
Well,
one, I
Pop didn't
distinctly
know.
remember looking out the screen door out across the field and thinking, and thinking about it. I kept hearing people say I'd won. And I just
Yeah.
didn't, I couldn't. What did I keep hearing I'm one. I'm there thinking I'm one. Wonder what a one is, you know? And
What a
then,
boy.
yeah, I didn't know. But I thought I remembered that. And then when I got older, I guess 50 years old, when I was talking about my mother, and I said, I remembered that, but it was summertime. Must have been the summer I was one instead of my birthday, because I was looking out the screen door. I said it wouldn't, ain't no way that we'd have had the front door open in the wintertime and in December, my birthday. She said, I don't know exactly, but we had a real warm spell that winter about the time of your birthday. And we had that old coal stove in there. You get it good and warm. You couldn't unwarm it. You'd open the door in the wintertime if it got too hot. That might have happened. So I'm just going to tell my story that it did happen, whether it did or not.
Well, I was 2 years, 1 month, and 5 days old. And I remember being when they took Papa out when he died, and I remember seeing him go out through the house and through the front door, and he never came back. I don't know if he's dead already. He probably was. He probably died there at home. I just remember them bringing him past the coal bucket. I mean, past the water bucket, because he died in the back room. He slept in the back room, and they went in there and got him and
Was that
brought
your
him in.
mother's daddy?
Uh,
Was that your mother's daddy?
yeah, as we lived with them after she moved us out of the tar shop out there. I guess probably after she found out that Tommy wasn't coming back.
Well, I remember, I don't know how old I was, but I wasn't much old whenever uh, this, where I built my house, the one that burnt down, um, used to be a barn. And in the other, where I lived there, where I was raised, over at that other house, when I looked out the door, and me and Pop, there was a fence row went down through there, about where it's at now. It's out a little further. Yeah, it's out a little further just now. And me and Pop was walking over to, we called it the chicken house because it was originally built. They used to have a bunch of hens and laying hens and sold eggs. But we was walking over there and he was walking in front and I was walking behind him and we had this dog. He was a mix of collie and English shepherd. They called him. He was originally named Laddie. His mother was Lassie, and they named him Laddie, but he always went by Puppy. And he was a good old dog. But anyway, he's walking along behind me, and Pop's going in front, and Pop went by. There's this the dog run by me and about knocked me down, and I'm a fussing at the dog, and the dog run his head back in the weeds and pulled out a copperhead
Uh-huh.
and slung it, and it just snapped its head off, just like a cracking a whip. And uh,
Mm.
and
Poor
then I
dog.
remember Pop turned around to see what the commotion was, and that head, I remembered his was laying there on it. I mean, it's cut in half, but the head was rising up and just striking at everything it could, just over and over. And then Pop picked up a stick and finished killing it. And I don't know, I wasn't too far from three then, probably younger. You remember them remarkable things? I remember first time I saw any flying mouses, and I ain't got no idea how old I was then, but there was some flying squirrels over in an old dead tree there in the yard, and Pop hollered at me to come look at 'em, and I went up there and went out there and looked, and they was, I called them flying mouses.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, all them good old stories. I remember I used
So,
to, we had we had chickens and they run loose. Kind of kept ticks down. And this old big red rooster, and every time I'd get out of the house, that rooster would take off after me and flog me.
oh
And
Lord, I hate that.
yeah, you ain't never had a whooping the rooster get you. Of course, I wasn't. I was just a little bitty feller, and I'd be getting out to go to the toilet. And here come this rooster. I scared to go outside. And that happened one day, and Pop come home, wherever he's working, come home. Man, I told him, said, you need to do something to that rooster. I want you to know that I enjoyed eating that rooster as much as I ever enjoyed any watermelon I ever had.
Oh, that's funny.
They
It
make
made you
good
not want to go
dumplings.
to the toilet, wouldn't it? Because you knew what,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you was ahead of you before you got there.
I had a had a good time chowing down on that roof. I had another like I had better give me some roof. No, I believe this is a woman give me some roosters. Had 4 or 5 of them, and I just I just kept and tried to keep them over there, let them run loose so that they'd eat the ticks. But hawks and owls mostly got so bad you can't do that much anymore. But anyway, that old walking down through there, and you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. Come walking down through there, and he was into something, and I had a BB gun there, and I picked it up. Now, the feller ought to do it, but I've shot many of a chicken, shoot them, and you hit their feathers. it scares them, but I don't think it actually hurts them. But that rooster come walking down through there, and his end's something I didn't want it to fool with, and I picked up that BB gun and shot it, and I hit it in the neck, and
Yeah.
it just fell over and quivered. It's deader than a hammer, and I, I skinned it out and made rooster dumplings out of it. But I got to looking, and where I'd hit that thing in the neck, it never even broke the skin. There's a
Got it.
little purple dot there, and it killed that rooster, paralyzed it, I reckon. How heart attack?
Ah, that's all I was going to say. Sounds like it gave you a heart attack.
Yeah, I didn't. Anyway, one of my roosters, but I didn't let him go to waste.
No, no. Was he fat?
Ah, yeah, he was a good sized little chickie. He was a game rooster. They don't. No, that wasn't. He wasn't either. He's one of them Dominickers or something, whatever you call them.
Well, Almanackers is white,
Yeah, I know it.
and
He wasn't
Rhode
white.
Island Red is red.
Yeah,
That's the only two I know is Almanackers and Rhode Island Red.
I guess he was. Well, this is one of them kind that got more than one color to him.
Yeah,
He's a pretty rooster.
he, yeah, pretty rooster.
Pretty dead.
Yeah,
Um,
tasted good too, didn't he?
yeah, I remember a little store up there at Grantsboro. We used to go up there, and they had a bunch of trinkets. You know, they had them dust collectors, whatnot. They got in a bunch of them, and they was a rooster up there. You know, he's good for a sit on the table, and I thought that was the prettiest thing I ever seen. That rooster. And
Yeah,
Pop bought it for me, and there's another there, and he got it. But that big old one, I don't know whatever happened to them things. I'd like to find them. I bet they're over there in the attic somewhere. I'd put them on display if I could find them. I'm
yeah.
running out of shells. You get burned out and go in one of these tiny homes. It has a few setbacks. You just got nowhere to set your junk.
Just keep adding your Murphy
Yeah,
shelf, Murphy table.
I tell you another thing, which you don't think about, but when you live in one of these little shacks, you have to think every time you go to cook, 'cause the smoke alarm's going to go off. You're going to have to take it for a walk.
That's true. Yeah,
Mine went off this morning. I was making that splitter.
you and it went for a walk
Yeah,
out
I
to the
took
front
it
porch.
down and blowed in its face so it could get its breath and laid it down over here.
It's a funny way of telling it.
Yeah, it was a good old day. Well, you ain't even got up yet. I just looking for some conversation. You know, these old lonely fellers, they ain't got nothing else to do. Just call up a buddy or a friend or a sister or something, and have a
Yeah,
talk.
I'm glad I'm one for you.
No, check in with you after a while. Don't forget who loves you.
I love you, so you stay warm.
Do my best. I see you.
See ya.